Oh, hello. Welcome to Masterpiece Theater. Today we're taking a trip to the Korean Peninsula for a little film called Train to Busan. Yes. We are missing a show again today. Hello and welcome to another episode of Alternate Endings, the show between the shows. Consider it like the back rooms of shows. Sean couldn't make this week's podcast because there was like a cable outage or something in his neighborhood, so he had no internet. And Johnny and I got on a call waiting for Sean. And we just kind of looked at each other when we found out Sean wasn't going to be there. And like, would we do a show together, just the two of us? No, that would be weird. So you get another episode of this, Alternate Endings. And this time, it was my pick, and I chose a zombie movie. Sean and Johnny do not like zombie movies. I like most of them. So, that's what you're going to watch now. Did Sean and Johnny like Train to Busan? Find out. Next week, though? Well, not next week. I think we'll be back next week, although I said that last week, so who the fuck knows? But the next episode of this should be a good one, because I believe we were doing a Quentin Tarantino movie, and at the end of this episode, you'll hear my thoughts on Quentin Tarantino movies. And let's just say I'm not the biggest fan. So, without further ado,
Hello, welcome to the Alternate Ending podcast. Do I always do some form of hello that's like that, or is it? I guess sometimes it's just like hello.
Yeah,
how's it going?
your hello reminds me very specifically
It's the
of
John
someone
thing?
we talked to. Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, for sure.
Always hello.
That's what I hear every time. So hello, Dave. Finished any good books lately? Reading or writing? It could be either one.
I actually I bought a book because we in our newsletter that we're doing now we're talking about books, and it's like, well, so far we've had two picks and neither of them were for me, so I'm like, I really ought to read some stuff that we're going to suggest, otherwise I feel like a fraud. So I had an Amazon credit still left, and I bought The Institute by Stephen King. I haven't started it yet. I just had it like 2 days ago. Have you read it?
No, I haven't. I've actually. I think 2020 might have been the first year ever where I didn't read any Stephen King whatsoever.
I'm in a weird position with Stephen King. He's one of my favorite authors, but he's had so many swing and a miss for me that I'm like negatively likely to get a new book. Like, it's like, oh, there's a new Stephen King book. Well,
you know what, dude?
That.
Probably if you read Stephen King now, some of the old stuff that you liked, but with a more critical, I've been writing for a decade mind, you might not love it as much as you once did.
No, I disagree. Hey, because he was leaner back then. I feel like he's gotten bloated.
The Stand is leaner? Are you kidding me?
All right, well, so it's
His
not.
editors have more power.
You know what it is? It was like 1983 or something.
No. Oh, okay, well, maybe it. But The Stand's scope is so enormous that I expect an enormous book. 11/22/63, for instance, is like just not that big of a story.
Yeah, but his bloat was there in the 80s. Like, it didn't just show up. Like,
well, then it's not bloat.
Right. Like, Cujo,
it's something else then.
Plot, Carrie, Shining, Dead Zone. Those were all thin books. And then it was like he started getting out of control. And, he had big ideas and he couldn't fit them into the container of him.
Then bloat was the wrong way for me to characterize it, because I do like it and The Stand. It's something about, maybe it's the tone. I mean, maybe I'm the only one. Do you guys feel that at all? Like, I just don't like the new ones nearly as much. Ever since Dolores Claiborne, I've been
I don't like the new stuff as much as the old stuff, but I do think that he's doing. I think there's some parallels. I've been thinking a lot about Eminem lately because his newest album came out, and
Dave, have you been thinking a lot about M&Ms lately?
Yeah, a peanut M&M specifically.
I have the same feelings about Eminem that I do about Stephen King, which is they're
M&M's will get you bloated.
they're nowhere near what they were in their prime, but they were so impactful on the industry as a whole, and so influential. And at the end of the day, still damn good at what they do. But no, I don't enjoy Stephen King books the way I used to. However, and maybe this can count as my something cool, although I do have a something cool. I just finished season 1 of Castle Rock yesterday with Haley, which is interesting. Have either of you guys seen it?
No, I'm watching The Stand on CBS. Oh,
I'd like to watch that, but they make it impossible to watch easily.
So in Castle Rock is J.J. Abrams and Stephen King, which could be fantastic or terrible, because
two guys who have questionable endings sometimes.
Yes, exactly. So
nailed it.
It's just it's Castle Rock, the city from Stand By Me, and a bunch of other stuff. I think Dolores Claiborne too, right? And Shawshank Redemption, obviously. It's Castle Rock. It's Stephen King's fictional town, and so
it's right next to Fraggle Rock.
The story takes place, partly in Shawshank and just in the town. And it has a few characters from past Stephen King books, and it manages to feel very Stephen King, but also very J.J. Abrams. And I feel like it's truer to Stephen King in a lot of ways than Stephen King adaptations have been. And
I totally agree with that. Yeah. I don't think he should be allowed to adapt his own stuff.
No, and this is all about tone and vibe and character and stuff like that. And it's like it's the flavor of Stephen King, and that is really accurately put up front. And I like that. But yeah, I just don't think that I don't think that King is as good as he used to be. I don't enjoy his stuff as much as I once did. But also, I've read older stuff again in the last few years, and I'm not as impressed as I used to be also.
So maybe your tastes have changed.
For sure. But I listen to Eminem's records, and I'm still impressed with what he did in those first. Time hasn't diminished that skill at all. But that's maybe the part.
But you're not a rapper. You haven't spent a bunch of time learning.
No. That's exactly
you have
right.
spent a bunch of time learning the mechanics of writing.
Right.
Hey, don't say Sean isn't a rapper. You haven't heard him bust a rime.
I can't do what he does at all. And I'm not saying I can do what Stephen King does, but I can do something on the.
You at least understand what Stephen King does.
Yeah,
it's within your wheelhouse to some degree.
Yeah, I agree. So either of you guys have anything cool?
Not really.
Dave's all about the book he just finished.
Yeah. My son is enjoying so much the pitch meetings.
Oh.
I did enjoy the pitch meeting for Tenet, though. I did watch that. That is something.
I watched it after our episode last week. Yeah, it was funny.
And it's cool because he hasn't seen most of the movies. He won't see a lot of the movies because they're rated R and stuff. But he's laughing at all the right spots. He gets it probably 60%, I think. And he's asking questions, which is allowing me to talk to him on movies we have seen. And he'd be like, is he saying that because of this and this and this? Why the story didn't, why it was implausible. Pitch meeting
for Angry Birds?
I don't know.
You should look, dude. That would be a major bonding thing in the
White House. 2-minute piss scene. Wow.
I can just hear him too. We're going to have an eagle and he's going to piss for 2 minutes. So you're just going to have the eagle piss for 2 minutes. That's what I'm going with.
I just saw the one for Howard the Duck, and I'd never seen that.
Oh my god, I haven't seen
that. That's the worst movie.
He's talking about the ducks, dude. He's like, oh, anyway, it's great, and it's developing my son's ability to understand story. He's not creative in the same way I am. I'm hoping someday, he might take to it. I don't know. But we at least we have conversations about story in a way that we never had before. And it's because of watching those videos. So yes, thank you, awesome. Ryan George.
Yeah, he is the best. He has become the little devil. Basically it's him or Bonnie. One of them is always asking me a question that's like making me step up.
Are they talking to each other? And
no, it's just one at a time. I only deal with one of them at a time. Okay, well, if Johnny doesn't have something cool, I will drop another one.
Wait a minute. You don't just get to add extra something cool.
There's room for 3. And this one, I don't know that Dave will want to watch it, but Dave maybe. So, you know that story that we've talked about for at least 5 years, if not longer, about like an enclosed city?
You and me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They made that movie with Pauly Shore.
Wow, a rare Biodome reference. Okay, so this is the closest story that I've ever seen that would like fit in that concept, and this show surprised me. So it's Tehran on Apple, okay. and the only reason I picked this,
I do have interest in that actually.
Well, okay, I think you'll really like it. There's a lot of things. It has a lot of Dave tropes, which I didn't expect going into it at all. And the only reason I picked the show was because Apple puts things out slowly enough that I can stay current. You know, if Apple puts out a show, so far, the worst stuff has been just okay, not bad, and I can keep up. So I watched it, and I expected something like Homeland.
Was it made by the same people?
I don't think so, but maybe.
I thought it was. Okay, go on.
But here's how I would describe it. Tehran is like if in Homeland they had one episode where there's a character who interacts with Carrie in some way, and like they say this interesting thing that happened to her that's like a sentence or two, and it happens off camera. And then these showrunners thought, you know what? That's a really interesting idea. Let's just spend a whole 10 episodes on that. And it's somebody who basically gets trapped behind, in Tehran and can't leave. It has to just like
getting trapped in Tehran is tight.
I'm at the midway point, so I don't know where it goes, but everything I've seen so far, it's not the show I expected, and it is a show I think that you, Dave, would like.
Yeah, I saw the ad for it, and it looked good. I've yet to watch anything on Apple TV despite having it, and they just said, "Oh, by the way, we're giving you a few extra months." I'm like, okay.
Yeah, you're good till July. I can make you a little. This will work for you on Apple TV, Dave. Save you hunting around.
I want to watch the M. Night show, even though I heard that it's going to be like 8 fucking seasons or something, which will give them plenty of time to fuck it up.
Well,
wait. So they looked at his recent record and said 8 seasons. Let's not do one and see how it goes. Let's give you a big, huge fucking canvas.
I heard it was all mapped out, and there were like 4 seasons or something. Is that
Let's
not right?
give you all the rope to hang yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't seen the second season yet, but I did like the first season quite a lot, more than.
Sometime I'm going to meet that dude at a party, and it's going to be so awkward.
He's going to punch you in the face.
Dave,
you're going to meet him and Stephen King.
I haven't shit talked Stephen King as much as Sean, and I haven't shit talked him as much as Sean has shit talked Christopher Nolan and Tenet.
I love Christopher Nolan, for the record. All right, do we want to talk Busan then?
Yeah.
So Dave, this was your movie.
Dave gave us some warm up, and he said that basically that there was going to be a throwdown if we didn't all love this movie and want.
Oh, he did threaten us. That's right. That was this morning.
Yeah.
Train to Busan is 2016.
There's spoilers. Train for Busan.
Yeah. Korean movie, zombie movie, which is just fucking awesome. It is. Before now, I'd say 28 days later, 28 weeks later, were my favorite zombie movies. I don't even know what would come close to those. This is better than both of them. I don't feel it was quite as deep, but it did so many other things great. This is what World War Z would have been if World War Z wasn't
a total piece of shit.
Yes, I totally agree with that. All right, so I agree with everything that you said, Dave. This is my favorite zombie movie, but I'll also qualify that by saying I don't like zombie movies. Like I usually think zombie movies suck. Not that they suck.
What don't you like about them?
I just don't like it as a genre. I don't think zombies are
enough of a threat. What?
It's not that they're enough of a threat. It's just I just think it's kind of stupid. I think that they're relentless and there's kind of a despair to it. If I'm gonna watch horror, I want something generally slower and more thoughtful. If I want something that's really like adrenaline pulsing, that's not the it's just not the filmmaking experience that I prefer. You know,
I think there's a lot of adrenaline when they're fucking chasing, when they're the fast zombies.
Of course. I'm not saying there's not adrenaline. I'm saying it's not the adrenaline I'm looking for. That's not, if I'm looking for an adrenalized experience, zombies is not my go-to. So there has to be a reason. Like, I did enjoy.
There's one of those Dave tropes we were talking about.
I did enjoy. What was it called? Oh shit.
Describe it.
It was a remake. It was Dawn of the Dead, Zack Snyder's remake. Because I think that he has.
Do you know James Gunn wrote that?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think he has a lot of style. So there's a reason there. I really, really liked, like Dave said, up until this, my favorite zombie movie was 28 Days Later, because Danny Boyle is a hell of a director. But it's not like really a zombie movie there. It's like, I don't like the George Romero stuff. You know, I don't like the original Dawn of the Dead. You know, I know it's classic, but it just doesn't do anything for me. I don't really like the camp, like Night of the Comet, except for the warm, fuzzy nostalgia feeling. And Walking Dead is way too bleak for me. I watched that because, you know, it was a pop culture phenomenon, and Dave and I were writing similar stuff, and we started our podcast around that show. So there were reasons to watch it, but it's zombies. I like Shaun of the Dead because I like how many tropes it
subverts
plays with.
The trope, right?
Yeah, and it's comedic. But
it's British humor. It's not American camp. I hate it. That's what I do because like people like, why don't you like campy movies? It's not that I don't like campy movies. I don't like American campy movies. British campy movies are way more just intelligent. And I'm not saying that like a snob because I don't watch a ton of British stuff, but the humor is just on a different fucking level. Whereas, you know, most American attempts at campy humor just fucking
Are you
suck.
saying that Ace Ventura: Pet Detective is a failure cinematically?
Well, I will say I did very much
or Happy
enjoy
Gilmore.
I enjoyed Ace Ventura, the very like the part where he's delivering the package and he's like kicking it all around. That was the best part of the movie. That was
there's no
not
good
everything
part
can
of
be Angry Birds.
Yeah.
no, nothing beats a 2-minute piss scene.
So what about zombie comedy? So like that Santa Clarita Diet.
I've not watched it because it's American.
It was interesting, I thought.
I've tried it twice. Yeah. I got to episode 3 2 times, and then I'm like, I'm just not into it.
And it's got Drew Barrymore in it.
I like Drew Barrymore, and I like
Timothy Olyphant.
Yeah,
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's great, but I just couldn't get into the show. So that's all to say that zombies are just like meh. But I thought this movie was exceptional on every level.
Why did you guys think it was so exceptional? I want to know what the difference maker was.
Oh shit, Dave, you want to go first?
Because I hold on, let me just skip. I thought it was good. I was not blown away. But let me give my caveat for that. So I feel like I'm going to compare this to Dave's liking of Sonic Ice. Okay, so Dave has made a big deal about
Sonic Ice of movies.
Dave has made Sonic Ice the movie is going to be great. That's what I thought Sonic the Hedgehog was going to be. I was really disappointed.
You and me both.
For those of you who don't know the intense inner workings of Dave's mind, he's gotten really bonerified over Sonic Ice and how amazing it is, and
it's the world's best ice, you guys.
Yeah, he just wants to move in with it, and it's a whole thing. So,
have you ever made yourself a Sonic Ice bath?
If I had enough, I would.
So, and my comment about this was not that Sonic doesn't have good ice; it's that my spectrum for good versus bad on like good versus. So let's say this is like a normal like good versus evil spectrum. I'm doing a thing with my fingers here, spanning the entire screen. But my spectrum for ice is about that big. So like great ice can only go so far because it's ice. Like who gives a shit?
I disagree. There are so many different kinds of ice. there's a hard fucking cubes that like taste like chlorine that are in your friend's refrigerator or freezer that suck. Then you have in the middle, you have
Why don't you name Dave's, Dave? Whose freezer has the chlorinated?
I imagine the Dave seal of approval for ice. It's got.
And then you have.
This is why I never let Dave come to my house.
And then you have like the square ice cubes that they have at McDonald's, and those are okay. And sometimes they're a little like oval. Then you have like the square with a hole in the middle. Those are like one notch above that because you can put your tongue in a hole and chew on it. It's perfect.
So
Sonic
oral
Ice just
fixation.
kind of fucking melts in your mouth, and you could chew on it without breaking your teeth or anything. It's just
But again,
beautiful.
excellent ice. It's still ice. Like I can only get so excited about ice.
Do you think that Dave's like
let's
porn
do a
history
show
is
on
like icequeens.com or something? Like he's looking for like, I don't know, Eskimos. Like
So here's my comparison. I did enjoy this movie. I thought it was very good. It is in no way on the negative side of the spectrum. That said, it's a zombie movie, and I'm a little like Sean in that there's zombie movies are always the same. Like there's some little differences, and like Shaun of the Dead had a lot of subversion of tropes. I did like that about it. Not that Santa Clarita Diet was like an amazing thing, but I like that it at least was a different take, right? It was like suburban zombies. And so, okay, these zombies were on a train. Okay.
Oh, yeah, but it wasn't about okay. First of all, like the set pieces, all of that were as good as you could hope for in a zombie movie. Like it was
very well shot. It was very well done. There was some very interesting and exciting
what
scenes.
elevated it. What elevated it was the emotional core. Like
I get it, but you could do that with anything.
They
like
filmed
the fact
that
there was
movie for $8.5 million. That is
crazy. That is just. That's
World War Z was what, $200 billion?
Yeah, no, it was at least 150.
And it had no heart or soul at all.
World War Z compared to the book was a total. See that the book World War Z did the same thing, that it was a new take on zombies, and World War Z the movie was a total piece of shit.
Yeah, but
I didn't read the book.
I would compare this more to like Johnny. I don't know, it was like a month ago. I recommended Wild Things for a project we were working on. And I'm like, yeah, it's like carnival food, but it's just elevated, but it's basically carnival food. They're like, all right, we're going to take a really trashy
I think
meal.
your words were elevated garbage.
Yeah, elevated garbage. That's what Wild Things is. And Train to Busan is not garbage at all, but it takes a zombie movie and says, how do we make a classic? And this had all the elements of a classic. Like, I appreciate anyone who takes a very tired genre and is like, I'm going to make one of the best movies ever in this genre. And this felt like a mic drop to me. I don't know that a small zombie movie, like, because the scope on this was really small. It was a train, which is an amazing decision. World War Z tried to be everywhere. This is a global pandemic, and this was a smaller pandemic. I also think it was really interesting to see something with pandemic psychology post-pandemic. I mean, I've seen Contagion, I've seen a few this year, but this was also the one that I thought explored pandemic psychology better than the others. So between the story, between the psychology, between the
I did like a lot of that. Every time they'd stop somewhere, every time there was a chance to mix or save people, there was a lot of really good stuff. Again, I did like the movie.
But the pacing was perfect. The acting was perfect. I don't know that given the ground rules for this movie and the premise, it could have been any better than what we got. And to me, that's what we're talking about here. Like, why was it great? Because they said, hey, here's the premise, and then they just 5-starred the fuck out of the delivery.
See, zombie. Go ahead.
Well, I like it. It starts off with a slow build. Well, you get the first creepy shot, which is the guy that hits the deer, and then the deer gets back.
Oh, the deer reanimating was beautiful.
So you're like, okay, this is gonna be that kind of movie. And then you cut to the guy in his office, and he's a guy that's obsessed with his work, ignoring his kid. And I love how they did it in a way like they didn't hit you over the head with it. It was subtle. Like he brought his daughter for her birthday. She's like 8 or 9.
That's one of my favorite moments in the whole movie.
Right. He hands her a Wii, and it's like he's like figuring, he asked somebody what are kids into, like he asked his assistant or whatever. And I like that he has his like people under him at work are under lemmings on his phone. So it shows you how he views people, and very hierarchical.
I missed that.
Yes. So he gives his daughter this Wii, and then she's just kind of staring at it, and he's like, what? And then she like looks over.
Aren't you gonna say thank you?
Yeah, and then you see that she's already got one. He's even got the box. I mean, that was a little, over the top, but
No, it wasn't over the top. She had the box because he had given it to her as a gift. And it was
right, I was trying to figure that out too. I didn't know if somebody else
product
gave her one or if he had given her one and forgotten.
No, he had given it to her, and it was so like it didn't even register with him. It was, an expensive bauble that he was buying her. And so like to her, it was important. It was my daddy paid attention to me. Yeah. And, so it's in a place of honor in her room, just the box.
Oh, okay. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
So and I love this slow build up, and he takes his daughter to see his estranged wife, for her birthday. She was gonna go alone. She offered to go alone. He's like, no, I'll take you, but he's doing it very reluctantly. Gets on the train, and just like everything is slowly building. And at first, like the first like hint that something's, and I discovered that what I like about end of the world stories is the normalcy shifting to what the fuck. I like that more than I like everything that comes after.
It's the pandemic psychology, and I think that we're more in touch with that now than we were, a year ago watching this film.
Yeah, but there's a sense of mystery though, because you don't know what's going on, and she puts her hand out the window, and you think it's snow, and then like it just dissolves to dark because it's ash, and like, oh, something's on fire. Then you see the fire, and then something's wrong. And you see things in the background. You see like people with their phones, like a crowd of people with their phones, but you don't see what they're looking at, making you wonder what the hell they're looking at. And then when they're on the train and she sees a guy jump on someone else, like that's a hint something's going on. And then like trouble comes on the train, and I just love how it all slowly builds up, and it's not done in a campy way. It's done very seriously, and I like the whole social dynamics that really play in. And I'm not gonna pretend I know a lot about Korean culture, but like just how the homeless people are sort of overlooked, and there's a homeless guy on there, and like everyone's paying attention to him, and they're ignoring this girl that gets on the train. She's like infected and like twitching and walking in the aisle, and people ignore people that are sick or whatever. And it's sort of showing like the whole social construct of how things are and how people are ignored and overlooked until it affects them personally. And I just love how it played with archetypes. None of the characters were like super deep, but they were done well enough that even though most of them were one note, it worked for me as a story, because they did things that that's how I feel it would have played out.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think they were more than one note for having the one note, and that's why I think this goes into 5-star territory again for a zombie movie, right? Like it just couldn't have been better. The relationships, like I like what they did with because really in part two this was a movie about masculinity and what it means to be a man, especially what it means to be a father, and what it means in a time where like the human morality is in question and these decisions are coming really, really fast. And like his character arc he could have had the same exact character arc for that main character, which is he basically starts out as a super selfish, like corporate fucktard guy.
Yeah, and he tells his daughter, like, just look out for yourself. He like gets annoyed with her when she like gives up her seat for someone. Like all these little things, like, you're looking out for yourself is job number one.
Yeah, and he has to learn not to. Now we've seen that arc a bajillion times, but the way it's done is so artful in this.
It's subtle too. It's not.
It's set up from every shot, and I love what they do with the yin yang of the basically they have a character. So there's three masculine characters that are explored. There's the main character, the father, who is getting his daughter on the train to Busan. And then there's another guy who is the husband, or I assume a husband, of a pregnant woman, right? Like
Yeah, his name is Seng-Hwa.
Okay,
and
he's
blue collar.
He was
guy.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, he's
by the way,
dude.
He was like the personal trainer or fighting trainer for the lead actor. So they had like an existing relationship, and it worked so well.
I've never seen that particular strap on, let's go through these zombies move before that they do, where they wrap their wrists and that guy just starts punching him in the face, and just I've never seen that scene before. So that was really, really cool.
Yeah, he does a couple of things. That character does a couple of things. He's representative of the non-corporate life. Like, he's dressed very differently. He's just looks kind of cool. Like, he has a bearing. Like, he's much more casual. He's not uptight. But he's very loving. He's very tender to his wife. So it's not like he's not a man. But he
feels,
and I like that he's afraid of her too.
And he feels a competition with this business guy. Like, you get all the fucking respect. Meanwhile, guys like me are like doing the real work. I mean, that's not said, but that is the entire like underlying feeling, and like that's so palpable.
Yes, and his character did double duty because, again, because of the claustrophobia of the train, and also just the claustrophobia of we've only got a couple of hours and there's only a couple of characters and we have to keep everything moving. Not only was he the third part of that masculinity triangle and a contrast to the corporate fucktard, he was also his mentor.
Yes.
Like he was the mentor role, and he even got pretty pointed about it. You remember that moment where he turns to the main character and he said, "I'm sorry, I don't know these guys' names." It's just it's hard.
Seok Woo was the main character. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly.
Yeah, I'm afraid I'm going to butcher it anyway. But the more masculine guy turns to the main character, corporate guy, and he's like, "That's what it means to be a father. It's about sacrifice." And he doesn't even have his baby born yet. He's a more committed father with his baby in utero than the main character is with this child. And so there's that contrast. But then there's also contrast that's set up from like the earliest shots with this, like, I guess I would refer to him as like the Ghost of Christmas Future character. So you've got this other guy who's like a corporate.
He's a COO. His name is Yeon Suk.
And he's older, right? So he's like who this other guy could turn into. Yes. And he's just like the worst human I've seen in a movie in a long time. I really, really
that dude was pretty deplorable.
But he's realistic as hell.
Yes,
we know people like that.
But that's another great movie, is when you can make me hate the villain that much with that little dialogue. It's all action. It was all show don't tell. I mean, he said a few things that were very mustache twirly, but for the most part, it was all like you got to see what he did and then you got to hate him. And he was such an example of who our main character would have been unchecked without a daughter to pull him back to his humanity. And you know, there was a lot of parallels. Like, he would be asleep when the main character would be awake, or vice versa. And you know, but they were also behaving in similar ways and reacting in similar ways.
And there were times that the main character like looked at him, and you could tell that he was like seeing himself in this guy, and he wanted to see more of the other guy in himself. Like,
yes. And I thought that all was just so beautifully done and elevated. That is not the kind of interaction, writing, or performance that you see in a zombie movie typically.
And the girl that played his kid, I mean, she, like I said, she was like 8 or 9. Phenomenal acting. Just like I don't like when that girl cried, you like fucking felt it. Like, so yeah, just the whole thing was just. I thought most of the characters, like even the minor ones, most of the acting was really, really well done. There were a few that were just a little whatever, but you know, that's to be expected in any movie. But for the most part, everybody was just perfectly cast, and like you felt for these people. as things were progressing and as people were dying, and then the old man like starts playing like other people off of each other, like using the fear that they might be infected against our main
that
characters.
scene where the door was locked. I actually love just the progression of it, the way they used the train, the way they used the stops. All of that was we were always on edge. It always moved.
Yes.
But then when it stopped, it was like there were all these mini stories. So that could have been just a short story all on its own. Just okay, they've gone. So the setup, for those of you who have not seen the movie, is that the zombies are all like they're collected in one part of the train, and our heroes have rescued somebody and are making their all the way back to the other side of the train, and then they get there, and the ghost of Christmas Future, the real asshole, he refuses to let them in, and then turns the entire train car against these people who are just trying to get to safety and have already been heroic. Like they show the people who are the most heroic on the train getting boxed out by the least heroic,
the cowards.
Yeah. And then that was another wonderful mid-arc moment for our main character too, where I guess it was not mid-arc, it's towards the end, but when the cool guy gets bit, and he realizes that he has to say goodbye to him, and there's just that moment, it's very fleeting, but he says sorry. And we see that he is experiencing empathy for the same time, or for the first time. We're actually seeing empathy all over that character. And again, it's not that, like, that's just what a good movie should do, is have that character arc. But in a zombie movie, you're either paying attention to the set pieces and the zombies and how cool it looks, or those moments. And this was so balanced. It was
and I'll say that is what elevates this over all the other ones. I mean, if you look at the list, the ones I put as my favorite, they've been character.
What's the list?
Heavy.
What are your top 5?
28 Days Later, 28 Weeks Later, this, and I don't even know what comes after that. I can't think of another zombie movie. I'm sure there is one that I like, but I can't think of it. So that shows you, how.
Are you looking forward to, or do you know about Zack Snyder's Netflix Army of the Dead?
No. Oh, I did like Black Summer on Netflix. Holy shit, that was good.
What's that?
It is. There was a show called Z Nation a few years ago, really campy zombie movie. I didn't watch it. It just looked stupid to me. Then the same people came out with another show called Black Summer, which is on Netflix. Each episode is short. And it just gets right to the fucking action. Like there's like barely any character development. And despite that, I love the fuck out of it. And I'm waiting for the second season because it was just balls to the wall, just nonstop, and they drop you right in, don't explain anything. It's very like cinema verite or whatever the hell it is, like in the moment, and you're just left to kind of like figure shit out. And I loved that. Even though I don't like it usually in a movie, I liked it in the show. But anyway, this worked because of the character development. I cared about them, and they had arcs. Did
you see there's an Australian zombie movie with Bilbo Baggins? Is it not Bilbo?
Is it one where he's trying to get his kid somewhere?
It's not his kid. It's a kid.
Oh, I have not seen. I didn't know it was a zombie movie. I just thought it was like post-apocalyptic. It's on my list.
It's a little zombie. It's interesting.
Okay.
It's another small.
I'll watch that.
That one had all the character moments, but this one had the character moments, the pacing, the set direction. It just had it had everything. Like this is a very sad. If you like zombie movies, so I was talking to somebody and they were like, "Man, I like zombie movies. I just wish that they were better." And I'd be like, "Oh my God, have you seen Train to Busan?" Because it hits all the notes.
And it also had that sort of the Korean fighting movies, like Old Boy, although I don't know if I'd classify that as just a fighting movie. That's the kind of deep movie. And maybe others are too. I haven't watched that many. It's not my thing usually. But that moment where he's first trying to find his daughter on the train, and she's like, she's gone to the front of the back of the train, and then he finally sees her, and then that male attendant, the guy in the blue, he gets infected, and he turns and he like looks at him, and that music stinger at that moment, that was like a fight scene. Fucking like that was like Old Boy sort of like that feeling like this is a fucking a master choreographer, director at work. Just it just fucking felt it. It was so good.
Yeah, no, I agree. This is a master filmmaker who knew how to conduct his moments. Okay. I'll say this. I didn't finish 28 Days Later and think, oh, I could watch that again. And I know that if I were to watch this again, I would pick up a bunch of stuff I missed. Part
Did
of
you
that
watch
is the
28
language
Weeks
barrier.
Later?
I did, but it did not make an impact on me because I barely even remember it.
I just love the beginning part where the guy, his wife, he like basically bails on her, and that was like such a scary moment because it's like, holy shit, what would you do in that situation?
Oh,
that was the best part of that movie.
Yeah,
I really
do
liked
remember
both
that.
of those movies actually, and they're both much more action driven and not as character intensive at all. And I'm wondering because I'm listening to you guys soliloquize about this movie, and I'm like, again, I liked it. I thought it was cool, but I'm nowhere near as where you guys are. And so I'm trying to figure out, like, I wonder if I'm compartmentalizing in my mind of a zombie movie has a certain vibe, and I
You're
don't
dismissing
pay
it.
as much attention to the character
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I think that's very much true.
Meaning that I
Yeah.
don't. It's not that because I noticed everything that you're describing. I guess I just didn't care as much as I normally would in a different genre because my mind was in zombie mode.
Because they were like, "Hey, zombies, dude, you're not allowed to care." Like,
Right,
this is
and
this
so
is
I
genre.
actually did like 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later, not more than this, but I did like them, and I even the Zack Snyder Dawn of the Dead I like. I don't know why. It's not like it's a great movie at all.
because because he does know how to visually entertain.
Maybe
Zack
that's really
Snyder,
what it is you're looking for that. At least I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I will say, do we want to talk about the ending before I talk about the sequel? Because I watched the sequel.
Yeah. I'm scared about the sequel.
Is that one like Train to Seoul or something?
It's called Train to Busan Presents Peninsula.
Oh, I don't like the presents. That's dubious.
You're right
already.
away. I'm thinking that's a faux
Yeah,
pas.
let's get this out of the way before we talk about the ending. What is
Okay.
the sequel like, Dave?
The sequel was like they tried to go Hollywood. Like it had two kids in it instead of one. It had two sisters, and one was like really young, and one was like, I don't know, 10, 11, 12, I'm not sure. And it was like somebody said, hey, you know what would work if we made this more Hollywood, didn't have the same character development, and made it Fast and the Furious meets Road Warrior.
Oh, wow, it
Oh,
doesn't
wow.
seem like any of that goes.
Yeah. You got this kid that's driving around the zombie apocalypse and like just like steering the car and like doing power slides and like video game shit. It looked like a
Sounds like a
video game.
joke. Sounds like a parody.
It was awful. It was fucking awful, and I'm so pissed at
I'm
it.
looking this up now.
Same team, same crew, same director
Same
and writer.
guy, same writer, same director. There was
Wow.
one writer that was on the first one. It was on the second one, so I don't know if that or if it was studio interference or what, or he's trying to do something different. It was sort of different. It kind of reminded me of Escape to New York, sort of as well. Basically, it had completely different characters. It had a guy that basically has to go to where the zombie island was, Korea, and go and find a truck full of money and bring it back. But while he's there, he runs into like these people that are just running like fight clubs, but it's like the post-apocalyptic fight club where everybody's like all crazy meth looking.
Are you sure you watched a movie and you just weren't high or something?
I wished I was. It would have made it better. And like there's parts of it, there were little hints of what I loved about Busan in it. Like there was a good movie in there, but then they just said, let's throw in more instead of less. And it just did not work for me in any of the ways that and I won't spoil it in case you ever do watch it. Maybe we could do a compare and contrast. But it just was so disappointing.
I do like the 8.8 on IMDb for the original and the 5.5 for the sequel.
Hey, it could be worse. 5.5 isn't terrible.
Yeah, but some of that's just pity.
Yeah. Or like positive hangover from the first movie. Well, I don't want to hate it.
I feel like he didn't like someone, maybe not him, maybe the studio, I don't know, maybe they wanted to make more money. I'd love to know where it went wrong. But did he not want to repeat himself? Did he want to do something different? They probably
backed dump trucks full of money onto his front lawn.
Well,
and said,
it looked
"Do this."
worse than the first movie. It looked like a 2000 something video game CGI, like that. Just everything. It did
And
not
you're
look
really
good.
making me want to watch this.
It,
I'm just curious.
it wasn't as bad as Birdemic, but
I was just gonna make a Birdemic reference.
like there were some beautiful shots in it. There were some cool scenes in it. There was a moment where I felt something close to an emotion, but other than that, it was just like I was laughing more than I was.
Leave that as a review. There was a moment where I felt something close to an emotion.
That's a review for my autobiography.
So, what did you think of the ending of Busan?
It was tragic and sad, and I loved it. Like I wonder if it would have worked if the father had lived, like if it would have had the same powerful gut punch, or did he need to sacrifice himself?
He needed to sacrifice himself. Yeah, I figured that one was coming from the beginning because that was what it was all about.
Yeah, and watching that girl cry, like when he's gonna leave her, that just like made me cry. Like that just hit me in the gut because it was just so visceral, and I hated it. And like
that's such a Dave trope too, like the dad who just I like we're 4 minutes into it, and I'm like, oh my god, this is such a Dave movie.
Did Dave write that?
No, Dave movie was You Were Never Really Here.
I'm glad that they didn't get shot when they went in the tunnel. Like if it ended like that, I would have been.
Did you think for a second? Did you think they were going to get shot?
It's not Frank Darabont.
The first time I saw it,
for a second, I did too. For 1 second, and then I'm like, no, they just wouldn't do that. But you know what? The fact that they kept me a little more off my guard was the fact that it was a foreign film. Because I have been surprised at times when something's made outside of the Hollywood circuit. That's when I'm surprised.
Yeah, they'll kill everyone.
Right. And I thought, man, if they do, this movie just goes from like a solid 8 to me to like 6.1 or something.
So the only thing I didn't like, it felt forced, was the girl was singing this song that she, practiced for her father for the recital that he didn't show up to. And I feel like walking into a dark tunnel where you don't see any proof that there are soldiers or safety anywhere, and there might be zombies in there in the dark. The one place
and just happening to sing,
just singing a song, that just felt very. No, I didn't.
I thought the same thing. I also thought it was unnecessarily close to them getting shot because you've got a whole like cadre of soldiers. There's 2 people coming. Couldn't they just wait until the last minute? Why do they need to shoot them when they're that far away? Like, come on, guys.
Yeah, wait till you see them, or have like an infrared scope or something.
Yeah,
I did think that was a little.
I mean, it was sweet, and I got it. I just felt unnatural. Like it needed some justification. I could have believed it. I just need a little push. Like
I'm
maybe
with you.
Maybe they saw the soldiers didn't see them, something like that. That would have made it a little more believable.
Yeah, I appreciated that they brought that back, right? Like the whole thing, the song was thematic throughout the entire thing. Like that felt like a good callback. But I'm with you. I wanted to buy it, but I needed a little bit more.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I understood what they did, and I don't really know how I would have changed it because I do think that the moment was necessary. It was such a way of showing that not only had her father's arc been completed by his sacrifice, and her singing the song was representative of that, but it was also her comforting herself. So I knew I was making it okay with myself. I'm like, well, she's comforting herself. I'm like, yeah, but she's in a dark tunnel. So
yeah, the pregnant lady might have said, "Hey, why don't you shut the fuck up?"
Right. So it was.
But it is possible that they saw them. I don't remember their POV.
Maybe that's how it should end. And she starts singing. The pregnant lady tells her to stop, and then they shoot him.
Shoots a pregnant lady.
So I think that there I did have an issue there, but I don't really know how I would fix it. And it might be one of those things where what it accomplishes is so much more important than getting it perfectly believable.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
So they're going back to the second movie. There were a few cool visuals, but they were all very. You knew what was coming. And here a few times you did, but they often surprised you. Like, I love the scene where the two trains collapse and the people are trapped underneath, and then the windows break and all the people come pouring out. That's fucking awesome. But there's a scene in the second movie early on that completely negates the first movie in a way that just pissed me off.
Oh, I hate when they do stuff like that.
I hate this too.
First of all, there were Americans in this movie, and none of the Americans were good actors. And
Americans are the worst.
They are. So they're interviewing this like blonde corporate white dude, and they're asking him like he's got something to do. I don't even remember. And they asked him about, well, isn't it true that Busan didn't fall? And he's like, well, yeah, it was safe for a little while, and then it fell. And basically, like, so you assume they're dead, or maybe they got away. I don't know, but just like the whole island.
That's the same reason I hate Dr. Sleep, by the way. The way that it negated the first movie, The Shining.
How did it negate the first?
Well, it isn't that it negated it. It's that you left, and I know this is a side tangent, but we talked about Dr. Sleep on our old podcast, and at the end of The Shining, you leave believing that Danny and his mother are safe and that they're going to be okay, and then they very much aren't. So that was the thing. Just circling back to the ending of this one, though. So one of the things that I'm up in the air on is the ending for the Ghost of Christmas Future, because as I wanted viscerally, like, this isn't a story thing. I wanted a worse ending for him, because he gets infected, and then once he's infected, then it's perfectly okay. He's a monster now, so of course he's gonna, die or be tossed off. I wanted him to be shot by somebody who was uninfected.
Yeah, because his ending wasn't any worse than any of the other.
Well,
no, it was just he got bit.
It was, though. It was, because you had this very powerful man who's always been in control, and in the moment that he realizes he's out of control, he wants his mommy. That was a statement to me.
And that's the reason that I'm split, because his there's two reasons for doing it the way that they did it that I can see. The first is for his character arc, for the older guy's character arc, for exactly what you were saying, Dave. And the second is for our lead character businessman. It does suck that I don't know the names. For his arc, because he got to then be compassionate as long as he could. Like, he didn't throw him off right away. He backed away. He waited and basically until he turned to tangle with him. But he
should have thrown him off right away.
Yeah, just as a human being, like, a non-logical emotional response that I had was, this dude, no fewer than 3 people he directly threw into the zombies' path so that he could save his own ass. I wanted a really bad ending.
If he hadn't turned.
Yeah, that's what I wanted, because once he's turned, then it's just like, putting a mad animal out of its misery. Like, I wanted him to be fully cognizant and aware, and somebody just be like, "Fuck you."
But at the same time, if this was about masculinity and a maturity over the toxic sort of violent masculinity, then maybe that was a choice. I mean,
I'm sure it was. I just don't know if I love it. I'm on the fence.
Our lead character, Siak-woo, whatever. I hope I'm getting it right.
I guarantee you're not.
Well, I did watch.
At least you're trying. Johnny and I are just like not even attempting.
I didn't watch with the American voices. I watched with the Korean, but I don't remember how they said his name. Anyway.
You mean as opposed to dubbing? Dubbing's the worst.
Yeah, I can't stand dubbing.
Yeah, I don't like it because it's always Anyway, but he wasn't your typical macho guy, and his understanding of being a man, being a father, being responsible was a more mature thing than just beating the shit out of someone.
Yeah, again, it's probably the right choice, but it would have been okay if our main character didn't do it, because I actually think it soils him if he's killing an innocent guy or something. Somebody else is
going to go ballistic. There's only 3 people left: a little girl, a pregnant woman.
Or here's something that would have worked and wouldn't have tarnished anybody else. He just literally gets ripped apart by zombies while he's still uninfected, or something really painful and terrible for that dude. Or our earlier character, the bigger guy, could have beaten the fuck out of him. That would have been cool too.
I did have the same thought as Johnny, that like the guy does deserve worse, but it didn't bother me. But I agree, he deserved worse. But
I will say, go ahead.
Well, what do you think when the two high school kids, the baseball boy and his friend, the girl, when she got bit and then he just let her bite him? Did you like? I felt like that was realistic because
That felt realistic to me because he seemed a little emotionally stunted to begin with to me, and it seemed like he was really fixed on her in a way that he wasn't showing. And so yeah, I mean, he was, when she died, then I actually did expect that. I was waiting for that to happen. I'm glad that they did it overtly rather than pulling their punches.
Yeah, and I felt like I don't think that he was like in love with her because she seemed to like it seemed like a genuine friendship versus like an infatuation or anything. Like they were close friends. I don't know.
Either way, yeah.
That wasn't very much explored, and maybe I would have added a little more to some of those minor characters. Yeah, but I liked it.
So this is 5 stars for you, Dave. 4.5 for me.
This is 10 for me. If we're going on a scale 1 to 10, this is a 10.
I was doing a 5-star, but you can do 10 stars. It's a lot of stars to manage.
5 times 2.
It was. I see. Again, I'm torn on this because for a zombie movie, I did really like it. I don't want my. It's like you with Tenet, Sean. Like I don't want my criticism to come off as I didn't like the movie. It's that I only am so interested in zombie movies. It's almost like my zombie movie scale doesn't quite go to 5.
Would you watch it again?
Yeah, I'd watch it again.
But this is super interesting because last week, or the first week, I took Tenet to task. I had a very difficult time judging Tenet on its own merits. I was judging Tenet based on how I feel about Christopher Nolan, and Johnny is now judging Busan based on how he feels about zombie movies, right?
We should find a zombie / superhero movie for Johnny to watch.
Oh my God.
No, Dave, you'll probably do the same thing for next week. Well, but, okay, so Johnny's going to announce his movie, but I think it's probably the same thing. You'll judge it on that criteria because it's, what's our next movie, Johnny?
I feel like I was going to say something else, but I don't remember what it is. All right. Well, so let me move into this. So we do already know. Okay. We decided that it would be amusing to each take turns and because we've been kind of collaborating on it. We've been like, okay, well, what should we do? Oh, should we do Train to Busan? Oh, okay, that sounds good. And, we were deciding in a group, but it's it'll be more interesting, I think, if we literally take turns from here on out. And it'd be fun if the other two don't know that it's coming.
I think it should be a surprise on the air.
And I think that'll be funny.
True.
So in this
it is
case,
Johnny's turn, but we do know.
Yeah, this is a little bit of retcon because we had already decided what we were going to do this week. So I'm announcing it to you, the listeners. These guys already know. But in future weeks, when you hear one of us, so like next time, I think it'll probably be Sean and then Dave. And then we'll keep going in that rotation. So when you hear Sean say his next week, Dave and I will have no idea what it is in advance, unless we guess.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So that'll be fun.
Because it's going to be 2 girls, 1 cup for me.
Well, I mean, I can see us reacting in revulsion when Dave says something, and I can see Dave acting with revulsion when Sean says something.
I would just like to clarify for the record that Dave introduced me to both the vocabulary and the video file itself for 2 girls, 1 cup. I did not know what it was or that such a thing.
No, I like that 3 episodes in there when any chance of having class.
I didn't have the file to send you. I sent you the website link. It's not like I personally stored it.
Favorited.
Like, yeah, I gotta keep this for posterity.
The website link. Point is,
and if you're disgusted live listening to this, then you're complicit, motherfucker, because it means you know what we're talking about. So our movie for next week, if you want to keep up with us, is going to be Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, which is Quentin Tarantino's 9th and supposedly penultimate film, if he keeps his word, which Sean and I actually saw this in the theater when it first came out. I saw it again in the theater, and then I saw it with my son. So I've seen it a few times. And I think it's a lot to talk about. It'll be fun. Sean, you've obviously seen it. Dave, you haven't seen it.
I have not seen it. I will watch it. But despite the rumors to the contrary, I do not hate Quentin Tarantino. I think he's a very odd person. I liked Reservoir Dogs. I saw it when it came out, before he was a thing. I hated Pulp Fiction. I thought it was the biggest piece of shit movie I've ever watched.
I like Pulp Fiction a lot.
Pulp Fiction is great. Pulp Fiction is groundbreaking.
Well, I'm not watching that. I refuse. Anyway.
Guess what my pick's gonna be?
So I think he's a little too much in love with himself. I feel like
that's why I like him.
I feel like he might be a little racist. I don't know. I
don't think he's racist.
Wait.
Racist, misogynist. I don't know. The movies don't come off right. They come off very frat boy sort of.
That's not how they come off for me at all.
You're crazy. He's not Will Ferrell.
No, Will Ferrell isn't offensive to me. I
think you have.
He's offensive to me.
Grossly misinterpreted his.
I will say I love the beginning of Inglourious Bastards. I think that is right up there. That for opening 20 minutes with whatever it was, however long it was, right up there with the opening of Crying Game for me, and like most tense, like just quiet sort of building of tension movie. Like he's good, and I liked Kill Bill, what I remember of it. So he's sort of hit. I haven't seen Hateful Eight. So, like, I don't hate him. I just think he's a little too much in love with himself, a little too, hey, look at me. I hated his fucking cameo on Alias. It was the worst shit ever. He ruined the show for me.
I agree with
that.
I
didn't want to look at him. So, yeah.
I'll be curious to see what you think about this, Dave, because to me, and I don't want to get into it, right? But to me, just without spoilers and stuff, this is his, I'm going to say his most measured and even keeled movie for most of it. It feels very it doesn't feel gonzo in the way that a lot of the past movies do. And I'll just be curious to see what you think, because I think there's some really cool stuff to discuss in this one.
Yeah, Tarantino's definitely one of my top 5 directors, and I've seen it 5 times, and this is my second favorite Tarantino movie.
And
I think it might be my favorite.
Maybe he's not racist, but he reminds me of the guy that walks around saying the N-word like he's got the card, and like he just wants to show everyone he can say it. That's what he reminds me of, like that guy. And like, fuck you, guy.
I'll say that's fair. That is a fair statement about Tarantino, but he also backs it up. It's like, again, this brings it back to Eminem, because there's similarities there too.
As things always do go back to
Eminem. They're arrogant, right? Like Eminem is a shit talker. Tarantino, but it's okay because he backs it up. Like he brings his skill to the game. Tarantino is in love with himself, but he backs it up. He makes classic movies. He makes movies that nobody else can make. Yeah, you're right. That's not a classic.
I thought it was the biggest piece of shit ever.
It doesn't matter. Is it a classic?
No, it's a classic piece of shit. I mean, you can say Porky's is a classic. That doesn't make it good.
Oh my god!
It's also, I don't know that I would say Porky's is a classic either. I'm just going to say I'm not agreeing with the premise on this one.
Objectively shitty movie.
Yes, but what is it? Have you seen? Okay, so I'm going to guess that you've seen Pulp Fiction once, and it was
the theater
26 years ago.
It was the longest movie theater experience I've ever had, except for a movie called The Damned, which was god awful.
Okay, so it's not even conceivable to you. We really should.
It felt like twice as long as Schindler's List.
No, okay, we're gonna save this for Schindler's List is my pick for next week. We'll just watch.
Oh man, there's a movie I don't need to see again.
All right, so we'll pick this up next week. I would like. Yeah,
it's gonna be hard if I like the movie. Then I can't shit all over the other movie.
Yes, you can. You're talented. You're Dave.
But all I want to talk about is your inability to grow after 26 years. Revisit an old idea. So we can totally circle back to that next.
Dave, I came around on Upstream Color. Just saying.
Well, I also don't like John Travolta, like on a visceral level. So
I don't like John Travolta in anything.
If he and Aziz Ansari were in Pulp Fiction, it would just be like.
When I saw that Travolta was in this, I was like, what? But then I was like, oh, okay, this is a good way to use John Travolta to me, because he was almost a parody of himself in a weird way. I mean, I thought. I don't know. All right. The dead silence means apparently agree to disagree. So, yeah. So for next week, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I know it was streaming on one of the platforms.
Stars it was on.
Yeah, and so I think you can still I'm
gonna be really pissed if it's not on Stars anymore, because I've been paying for that damn channel and not watching anything on it because there's never anything on it.
This is a bit of a tease for the people who are listening because we're recording this in January. So people are like, what? It's not on.
I bought that one right when it came out on Apple or Amazon. I'm not even sure. So
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah.
I think I own it too, actually.
I knew I'd watch it over and over. So whatever. I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to talk about it.
There's a lot of stuff to talk about in this movie.
All right. Well, I look forward to it.
Dave's gonna be bored, I guarantee you.
It'll be more fun.
Quiet. I like fucking Magnolia.
Well, yeah, but you don't like Tarantino. This is quiet and arrogant at the same time. It might rub you the wrong way.
We'll see. Well, maybe
that's true. It's not loud like Reservoir Dogs.
Hey, here's a good thing about this show, our podcast. If the movie sucks, it'll be an entertaining podcast because I'm gonna shit all over it. It'll be one guy, one cup.
I would really like to hear you shit on this and just see where, I'm amazed that you. I honestly do want to pick Pulp Fiction. I just won't do it right now because of that fact. But I need to have a new conversation with you with Pulp Fiction because I'd like to believe that after 26 years, you could evolve. That's my hope.
I have a fun parting shot question. I mean, at least I think it's fun. So I would like. Well, both of you can do it, but I watched all of the Tarantino movies with my son, and he has a favorite. I'm just curious if you could guess what it is.
Are you counting Death Proof? Did you see that one?
We did watch Death Proof because it's one of the movies that he counts, and it was not Death Proof. I did not really enjoy Death Proof.
Kill Bill.
I'm
realizing this is riveting to the listeners.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't want to take up any more time. What is it? Which one?
You aren't even going to guess after all that. You're just going to make me look stupid now.
I would guess Inglourious Basterds.
Now, it was actually Django Unchained, which was a little bit of a surprise for me.
Oh shit! I should have guessed Django.
I did see that, and I kind of like that one.
All right, because we ranked them all. Maybe we could do that next time. All right. So, and Dave puts them all down here. Reservoir Dogs.
Right below zombie movies.
Just down there. Okay, so thanks everybody for listening to Alternate Ending, and we'll see you next week for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Adios.
Bye.